I got diagnosed May of this year, about May, I think it was 24th. I started feeling symptoms around November, right about after Thanksgiving. Mindy and the kids got sick and I got sick. And then after that, I just developed a persistent cough that wouldn't go away. After the cough around December came some back pain, more low back pain, and I was having some side pain that went straight through. And then just started to feel like swollen everywhere, and thought I could feel like a little bit of a mass around like March. So we got some imaging. I think the x-rays first, and then showed some pneumonia. A couple rounds of antibiotics didn't clear it. So then we went for a CT, and then the CT obviously showed, that it was cancer. Prior to that, I was running, lifting. We would work out as a family, run up and down the driveway as a family. I was still racing dirt bikes in April of this year. But yeah, life was pretty normal. Just trying to, work, have fun, go on vacations as a family, and it all kind of came to a sudden halt. I remember that day very clearly. Melody and Revan had a dentist appointment, and they went up, and I knew something was going on. I knew something was wrong, and I knew it was pretty serious. I just didn't want to admit it. But I had them with me, went up to the doctor's office, and again, I think God's been definitely over my shoulder this whole time, because when I walk in, Aunt Carol and Grandma Jean are in the waiting room of the doctor's office, and I had the kids with me, and I said, will you watch the kids while I go in and talk to Janet? And she said, yeah. So if I wouldn't have had Aunt Carol there, the kids would have been in the room with me at the time of diagnosis, and I didn't handle it very well. And then she was in the parking lot, waiting for me. So that was a rough ride home. Mindy was home. I don't remember where Reese was. I think he was in school. Yeah, he was in school still, so he wasn't here. We told him that he got home, but I'll never forget that drive home. Just couldn't believe it. I was going to tell my wife. I know the kids didn't really. The kids didn't really understand, but, you just get cancer, lung cancer, and you're kind of freaking out. I'm supposed to go to life with Mindy, and I just was scared. Try to stay tough. I don't believe in crying as Amanda. It was just so unreal, like the next day and the days after, and then trying to figure out what to do. Do I have everything in the row for Mindy? How long do I have? Do I have 3 months? Do I have 6 months? Do I have a year, 10 years? I didn't know. So a lot of unanswered questions. And it slowly, just day by day, got easier. It was almost, I want to say, like God took a hold of me and just shook me, and it's just like, you'll be all right, And once that happened, and I don't remember at which point that happened, but when that happened, every day from then has been pretty smooth. We've been able to move forward and live with terminal illness and not live in fear, There's days, I'm not going to lie, I do get scared still. I still get worried. But I know I'm okay, and I know I'm getting taken care of. Psalm 62, verse 2. It's very short, but it speaks true to my heart. Truly, He is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will never be shaken. I just go back to that anytime I'm starting to feel down. Just know that He is my rock, and He's going to carry me. ever since I met Mindy, I went to church when I was younger. I wouldn't say consistently, but ever since I met Mindy and her family, it's probably when I really started to dive more in with my faith. Up and downs, definitely with faith, with not so much faith, just consistency, I'd say. Consistently reading the Bible, reading the Word, laying that foundation. But I would say over the years, that I've been going to church and reading, I've got a pretty good foundation built up now, to where I know what to do to help my kids be followers of Jesus and lay the pathwork for them. I'm always big on family, and I believe me and Mindy together, when we got married, we became one in Jesus Christ. It's not me and her separate, everything's together. So if I can, that's how we do it with our kids as well. We try to include them in everything, whether it's read the Bible. Okay, whose turn is to say the prayer? Well, it's tumbling night, it's Wednesday, so it's Melody's turn. They need that practice. They need to, wake up first thing in the morning, and sometimes I'm guilty of this as well. We have to remind each other, and Reese is pretty good at it. He'll say, "Dad, you say your prayer on your knees this morning?" And, "Nope, I didn't. I'll go say it right now." So keeping each other accountable. That faith over the last 20 years I've been with Mindy, I think has prepared me well for this. We're all going to stumble and fall, and it's like the footprints in the sand. During those times when we need Jesus the most is when he carried us. So even though I had those low moments of not being a consistent, going to church or, faithfully praying, he carried me through those times to get me to here now, to where I can really showcase what he's done for me. SoulCon, it's a men's ministry. Cody Bobay wrote some books they were challenge books, and part of the challenges in the books, he talked about making a family creed, and I was inspired by that. So I sat down, and I don't know how long it took me to put it together, but I just thought about things that keep coming up in my mind with my faith and how I want to lead my life. And the Bid Lac Family Creed was created, and we have a big block of wood in the house that we practice saying it on, and we have this on our wall, and it entails a couple of my favorite Bible verses as well. You can see Ephesians is part of the first line, put all the full armor of God. Reach, grow, and bear fruit. I learned that from the Methodist Church that was outside on their sign for a while, and I just love that saying. I love reaching and growing and bearing fruit. A good tree produces good fruit, and a bad tree produces bad fruit. So we want to continue to just produce good fruit and good followers of Jesus, and loving and serving others by placing needs above my own. We've taught our kids to do that since they're able to understand what serving means. We want to make sure that they're being kind to their neighbors and their enemies. Hopefully they don't have any enemies. But, and then committed with mind, body, and soul and spirit. We just want to make sure that we're giving our 100% to Jesus every day, whether it's saying our prayer in the morning. Me and Reese, when we would do the challenges, we used to do 40 push-ups every morning before we did anything else. Plus the Lord's Prayer on our knees. So just little daily life habits like that, implementing it into our creed. And just persistent God's growth in God's will. That's kind of what I was touching on earlier with the last 20 years with Mindy. It hasn't been hardcore all 20 years. It's been persistent growth. Here lately, been really not hard on the kids, but really trying to instill in them that earthly possessions don't matter. They're nice things to have, when it comes to like one of their favorite toys and them not wanting to share. It's just a toy. It doesn't matter. This house, this land that I have is nice. but there's something better out there for me in heaven that's gonna make this place look like nothing. And that's how it should be. Earthly possessions, money, fame, it don't matter. All that matters is your relationship with Jesus and people you have in your life, your family, your friends. And my career is important, and I love my job, but again, family, Jesus, friends, all that's above that. And I just hope that they realize that, and I can continue to teach them that the relationships they build on earth are more important than anything that they're going to own in life, and that those relationships with people here are going to help build the relationships with Jesus, and then that ultimate relationship with Jesus is what's going to get you into heaven and salvation. And realizing that they're not going to be perfect. Jesus didn't hang out with the Pharisees and the high councils and whoever back in the day, hung out with the sinners to rescue them. They did their debt forgiven more than anybody else, so they needed saved. Blown away by the community. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought I would have gotten as much support as I would have. I grew up in Oakwood, which is another small community, and I have so many cards from people that it filled my desk. I didn't have enough room to work, which is awesome. And those cards make my day. And the benefit that we had was amazing. I don't know how many people showed up, but I know it was busy from time it started till the time it ended, which was just amazing. I can't believe that my community, I can believe that my community would come behind me like that. That's what small communities do. Being able to put as much support back in the community as we can just helps us grow. It helps us all grow, helps us all come behind and rally for one another when somebody's sick or hurt, or even when we're not. We can just enjoy praising and worshiping and just joyous events too. I don't know how I could ever repay anybody, and I know they're not expecting it, but I would love to just be able to just say thank you to everybody, and every single person that's helped me, and give them a hug, and just totally blown away for sure. Being brave to me would be, I don't want to say not caring what people think, because that's, in my opinion, it's kind of harsh, but to a certain extent, it's doing what is right, even when others don't agree or don't believe in what your values are, what your opinions are. Being brave is putting on that full armor of God, so that you may face the devil's schemes. And I'm going to say that from an earthly view and from a heavenly view. People always try to persecute you in life, or don't want your happiness, or don't want to see you succeed, and you need to just keep moving forward, and that's being brave. And then also standing firm with your faith is being brave. Not letting anybody say, well, the Bible doesn't make sense, it's not real. No, that's your opinion. This is my opinion, and I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to stand behind it, because this is the Word of God. And so, in a sense, not caring what other people think. I don't know how to say it.